So Pat, how much money are you making on Skool?
Right now, my MRR is about 20,500.
And what's your group about?
Kettlebells and working out at home.
Kettlebells?
Kettlebells.
How much does your community cost?
$40 a month.
And why are you passionate about men and kettlebells?
So, really, it comes down to my whole ethos of fitness in general. So kettlebells are my tool, but my ethos of fitness is I don't care what you do, just work out and do something. If you love running, just keep running, you'll end up getting in shape. You love yoga, keep doing yoga, you'll end up getting in shape, and so on. So for me, if being in the fitness industry my entire life and trying basically everything, kettlebells have kind of stuck with me for the past 4 or 5 years and just been what I like to do. And social media for me as someone who's been in the fitness industry is just, for the most part, been, here's what I'm doing. If you think it's cool, come along for the ride.
Right.
Kettlebells just kind of took off. And then all of a sudden I was like, all right, I got a lot of people following me for kettlebells. Let's keep this thing going. So I just like using them. That's my whole thing. They're fun.
Bro, the kettlebell swing is undeniable.
Yeah.
It's so epic.
100%.
So you have been passionate about this for a long time. You built up a social media following.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get onto Skool and why?
So I was using another platform to deliver my program for about 2.5 years, and I have what everybody likes to call it a leaky bucket. I did. And me and my business coach and mentor just kind of sat down and looked at it and decided something needs to change. And we both kind of agreed on a potential platform change. The one I was using was good for, here's your workout, go do it, see you later. And I remember Hormozy saying something about community, you can't AI community. And in the fitness industry, a lot of people are afraid of AI, of going to ChatGPT, give me a 12-week strength program, blah, blah, blah. You can do that, no problem. So I just needed something that was a little stickier, was deciding between a couple platforms. I had heard of Skool, just kind of started one to start playing around with it, stopped looking at other ones and decided this is the move. This is a great place for me to host things. And a big part of it was just by the nature of what I do with kettlebells, people working out. Most of those people are working out at home alone. So I figured having a little space for them to actually talk to each other was going to allow them to sink their teeth into the program more and be stickier. And I was right.
Yeah. Working so far.
Yes, working
good,
so far.
right? Mm-hmm. So what was it like for you to be able to be in deep communication with your members? Because you had a program before. Yeah. Obviously, you've got social media. It's very different whenever you're in a community space and like all of a sudden they can tell you exactly what's going on. What was that experience like for you?
It was very eye-opening. I won't lie, kind of rolled my eyes at the community concept. I always thought, I'll give the good workouts, they like them, they get results and so on. But I quickly realized that's not the case. I brought people in and immediately they were just saying, this is awesome. It's cool to talk to other people. And then I felt like I was just in the mix. I didn't feel like I was the teacher lecturing. I felt like I was just one of the crew. And that really changed everything for me to realize that I'm also just a dude who works out at home alone. I want other people who work out at home alone to share wins, talk about things, kind of nerd out on this tiny little thing called a kettlebell that we all enjoy. And it immediately opened my eyes to, oh, this is a real thing that people need, people want, and they crave it without realizing it.
So cool. So you do this really interesting thing online. You ready?
Mm-hmm. No. Come on, bring it out. Oh. Yes, let's go. Oh, you got the full one. Oh, this is heavy. Oh my God. All right. First off, where'd you get this? Because it's gonna be on my doorstep by the time I get home.
Not only are you into kettlebells, but like one of your big things is like you incorporate Lord of the Rings.
Yes, I do.
Into your community and into your social media and into everything. So what is the benefit of like doing weird stuff? And how I knew about this is like we were chatting back and forward and you saw that I had a sword in my background. You were like, dude, and then you showed me you had a sword in your background. It's like, bro,
hell yeah, big time Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, huge. So what's the benefit of having like a fun little flair like this for your community and for your content and for everything?
Yeah, so I'll give a little bit of the background of it. Is some of the kettlebell workouts that I do, I give them names. And this is the Aragorn complex. This is the Gandalf complex, the Achilles, Hercules. I just gave them names because it just made them a little bit more interesting and made it more of a thing. And for a while, I was just posting them. People would be like, oh, this is cool. I love it. But then when I started on Skool and I did my little introduction post for all my community members, you know, where are you from? What's your name? Why'd you join? And then just a personal thing, I said, what's your favorite movie? And I think in the first month when I was transferring everybody over, I had 600 or so people in there. And 10 or 15% said favorite movie, Fellowship of the Rings, Two Towers, love Lord of the Rings. And it made me realize that, oh, these corny little stupid videos I put up years ago, this is the Aragorn complex, genuinely stuck with these people and probably made me stick out a little bit compared to maybe somebody else of other kettlebell influencers. And it just gives us a little bit of a thing to actually talk about.
It's the secret sauce.
It is. It's a little
magic
thing.
dust.
I don't want my community to only be about fitness and working out. I want to know, what books are you reading? What music do you listen to when you're working out? What movies do you like to watch? And it just so happens that a lot of people nerd out on Lord of the Rings. And it just kind of attracted them to me.
And you said something really interesting. You're like, there's a lot of people in the fitness industry. Number one, so fitness.
Yes.
It's like, there's a lot of people doing kettlebells. Number two, kettlebell niche. It's like, is there anyone who's doing like fitness, kettlebells, Lord of the Ring? You know, it's another way to just kind of like niche around, differentiate yourself. And I watched some of your videos, and it's like, you're doing a kettlebell swing, and it's like you're holding an Aragon sword in your hand, and it's like, bro, what?
Yeah, a little dangerous. You know, my mom and mother-in-law freak out a little bit, but I've got enough practice with it. I'll be okay.
It's great. And this is the stuff that like people nerd out on, and you know. Yeah, I mean, I was telling you, it's like Lord of the Rings is like a huge part of what we do as well in our community. And
it's the best.
Yeah.
People love it. It's a big sticking point for a lot of people. They think they're awesome.
Yeah. And it's very different to if you were just kind of running a traditional course format, right? Mm-hmm. It's like there's internal jokes, the internal memes. It's like the school cat, like Sam was talking about yesterday at the event.
Dude, that was my favorite thing about school. When I first started, they're like, hey, here's this cat. I have a cat. Immediately, cool. Throw him on there. I was like, wait, this guy plays music? Let's go. I listen to the cat music all the time. I love it. It's a great little thing that you don't realize is keeping you.
What playlist do you select?
Lo-fi.
Lo-fi?
I'm a lo-fi guy.
There's only one kind of option there.
It's the best.
Super cool. So how do you get, let's go tactical, right?
Yep.
How do you get people in your community?
So
what's working for you right now?
Instagram, YouTube, and emails and Facebook are my main drivers. A lot of it is either social media. So social media directly to the About page or social media to email list to About page.
Cool. Do you do only short form on socials, or what do you?
The past year I've taken YouTube a little bit more seriously and been long form, but for the majority of my growth, it's been short form.
Cool. So you'll post either a short form video or a long form video. And then in the description, you'll just have a link to the About page.
Yep.
And then what if you find like the way that you encourage people to click that link? Like, have you experimented with like certain phrases or certain ways of like presenting how to get people to make the click?
For the most part, at least when it comes to long form, I'll try and throw it in there in the mix. Try not to be too salesy, just reference it and say, hey, by the way, if you want more of this or if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the link, whether it's my lead magnet or right to the About page, depending on what I'm talking about in the video. But I kind of just let them know it's there, not overly about it. I've always kind of been a fan of, I've always had the thought process in my mind, if somebody really wants to buy something from you, they're going to find it, especially on YouTube, because everybody knows it's the first link in the description. If you like this person, you want more of their stuff, it's there. Everyone knows that. So I've been YouTube-wise a lot of that, because for the most part, I'll just put up a workout on YouTube and just be like, hey, you want more? It's right there.
Cool.
But that's kind of been my strategy. And then a lot of short form stuff has been either leading right to the About page or just emails.
And in your short form videos, do you have any call to actions, or you just make a banger video and then they click your profile and click the bio?
I've been using ManyChat a lot. So a lot of call to actions for, comment X to get this sent to you. And that's usually...
And ManyChat is just like an automation tool. You can set it up. So like comment Gandalf below, and then we'll get a DM from you and it'll send a link to the community or whatever it is. So ManyChat's working for you as well?
ManyChat's been awesome. I've probably been doing it for a year or so now, and it's been a really powerful tool to get a lot of stuff out there.
Right. So that's kind of like the front end.
Yep.
Like that's how you're getting people onto your About page. Sam said something yesterday. It's like the most basic thing, and it blew my mind. It was my biggest takeaway from everything that was shared yesterday. There's a lot of things shared yesterday.
There's a lot.
He was basically, and he's so nonchalant because that's how he rolls. He was like,
love it.
There's really only 3 things that you need to worry about. It's like getting people to your About page, converting them when they're there, and then like making sure they don't leave. So it's like traffic, conversion rate, and churn. And I was like, this is everything.
That's it.
There's nothing more. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
So we've done the first bit.
Yep.
let's go to your about page.
Okay.
What have you played around with? What have you experimented with? What's working to convert the traffic you send to your about page to actually sign up?
That's a good question. I don't 100% know yet.
Most people don't, honestly. And it's really refreshing to hear people say that, who are like winning Skool Games, making all this money on Skool. It's like, yeah, we just like send people to the about page and like kind of hope for the best.
Honestly, that's basically what I've been doing. I have a VSL, so I have like a 3-minute video of me being, hey, this is what we do. This is the results you'll get, and so on and so forth. And then after that, I just have like 4 pretty badass long testimonials that I don't even know if anybody's reading because they're long, but 4 like really cool testimonials from some of my people. Just, hey, they put posts in the community saying, this is awesome. We love it, so on and so forth. And then I have like a 5-second video of my classroom just scrolling down. This is what you get. And then my about page itself is basically, I basically just took all of the introductions. This is actually a pretty good thing for people to do, I think. I have my intro page of where you're from, why'd you join, what are you struggling with? It asks those questions. I literally copied every single one of those, threw it into ChatGPT and was like, what are the 5 things popping up? And then just went back and forth with ChatGPT for 20 minutes to come up with an about page that hits on those pain points. And I was like, cool, throw that in there. And it's doing okay, I think.
Easy peasy.
According to Sam's numbers, my about page is converting well, so I'll take it.
Do you know what your conversion rate is?
5.4 or 6.
That's great. And
my about page.
Remind me, 49 a month? Is that what you said?
40
a month?
40.
Yeah,
yep.
that's
with a free trial.
That's a great conversion.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Wow.
I'm not mad about it.
So there you go.
I'm more of like Sam was talking about it yesterday, or Alex has talked about it. Conversions, like, I'll just send more people there. Yeah. I don't need to worry about changing a line and then waiting a month to see if my conversion rate change. Just send more people.
Yeah. Love it. That's the second thing. Okay. How do you get people to stay? I want to break this up.
Yeah.
It's basically like, how do you get people results when they come inside?
Yeah. Like when they first come in or just in general?
Yeah. So literally, I've seen you swinging a sword on Instagram. I've clicked on the about page and I'm like, yeah, I mean, this works.
Yeah.
Ka-ching. What happens next?
So if they watch the intro video, they'll know where to go.
If
they watch the intro video. If they do, I kind of have 3 types of people in terms of their fitness level. I have somebody who hasn't really been working out at all and wants to get back into the swing of things or start. I have very short, simple 15-minute workouts for them to do. I say, your goal is to just check the box, get something done.
Love it.
I then have people who may have been working out but are brand new to kettlebells. They'll go to the beginner kettlebell course and program where they will learn the techniques that they need to learn. I then have my current cycle, which is what the majority of people are doing, which is I've worked out and have some slight knowledge of how to use a kettlebell. You'll jump in.
Cool.
Those are the 3 paths that people can take.
It's kind of like a traffic light system. Like,
essentially.
Yeah, red, yellow, green. Yeah. Really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go and they follow those paths that you've kind of like set for them in the classroom. Then what? Like, so, how do you get people? Yeah.
So I have the brand new to fitness and brand new to kettlebells.
Yep.
The third one is what is called the current cycle. So my group is called Project Bellplex. It's Project Bellplex current cycle. Everybody who's not doing the other 2 paths is doing that. So anybody who might be familiar with the CrossFit style of things, what CrossFit did amazing, everybody's doing the same workout every day.
Bro.
They're all doing it.
It's
so
you feel like you're part of something.
You feel like you're part of something. I always say misery loves company in the fitness. It's true. In the fitness, everybody, because what I do is everybody's doing the same workout on that day. Maybe you do it Monday and I did it Tuesday, but we're all doing the same week.
Because we all love to say, it's like, bro, those Turkish get-ups, how crazy were they, bro? It's like, oh, my back, like da-da-da.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I do is we all have the same week. Everybody's doing it. And then what I do is I post a comment or post a community post and pin that to the workout.
Wow.
Every single workout has its own thread.
Oh,
so then everybody just goes and gives a recap of the workout. Wow, Pat, you're an asshole. That one hurt. I felt great today. I went up in weight this week. So every single workout for every single week has a new thread for people to talk about. So the overall conversation, as soon as you jump into the group for the day, is around the workout that everybody's doing that day.
Man, now I'm excited. Like,
yeah.
You have my attention. Now, you have my curiosity. Now you have my attention because one of the kind of challenges of having a paid group that is just recurring every single month is people are jumping in at different points.
Yep.
Right? So someone who joined 6 months ago is on a very different point of the journey than someone who's joined like 5 minutes ago.
Yep.
And you've just created this way. It's like everyone can be like all in this together, High School Musical style.
Yep.
How often? Thanks, I'm glad you laughed. My goal is always to make producer Ethan laugh. So yeah, shout out. How do you? Yeah. So how often do you change the cycle?
So that's every 6 weeks.
Every
so
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Then we do 1 week of what's called a deload week, where I'll just kind of take it easy, stretch, lighter workouts, whatever, and then we start a new cycle. And social-wise, that's where I make my new push of, hey, this new thing's starting. Come join us now.
So you have this kind of like scarcity and urgency push as well.
Yeah, come join at the new cycle. There's no better time to start at the beginning. And it's
so you're kind of running cohorts.
Essentially, yeah. But
inside, wow.
Overall, it's evergreen, but essentially, it's a little bit of a cohort / launch type of situation.
I've never heard of anyone else on Skool doing that.
It is. I stole the idea from somebody. Like, I've been doing that setup forever since I started, but I kind of stole the idea from someone, and I haven't stopped. And I almost did. This is actually a really cool thing because I know schoolers are listening. I did a thing when I was on Skool for a month. I took the 10 people in my leaderboard and got on a call with them. And in not a Q&A, I was asking them questions. Why are you here? Why is this sticking? What's keeping you engaging and so on? And I had the thought that I think a lot of people do of, all right, you come in day one, here's your workout. You're going to be here. You have a 6-month path.
Yes.
And then everybody said, no, don't do that.
Right.
Because then everybody's all over the place. Yep. We like doing the same workout and talking about it.
Yeah.
And so I had this idea that I thought was great. Somebody's on day one, they're going to go through this and step 1 and step 2 and step 3. And they are like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, good thing I talked to my people.
100%. and that's what we did. So I did like a challenge model for a long time. A challenge is like, there's pros and cons to every model, right?
For sure.
And there's no one model to rule them all, right? Hey.
See what you did there.
But, you know, I think especially for that community, like it is High School Musical. It's like, if you can create that we're all in this together experience, the magic of the stickiness of community, the magic of school really starts to work.
It blew my mind how into it people were with the setup.
And it's perfect for your niche, especially because then you're not doing the same workout all the time. It's novel, it's exciting, it's new. And then something that Alex always talks about, you heard him talk about it yesterday, is like it's a consumable element to your community.
Yeah, there's no end.
There's no end. Mm-hmm. It's like, I got to come back for the next cycle.
It's something I was talking to some other fitness people and just in general, and it's the double-edged sword of what I do. I don't have that lose your first 15 pounds in 90 days. That gets people in real quick. But this happened when I did higher ticket coaching back in the day. I'd sign people up for 90 days or whatever. They have this end point in their mind. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if this is a good or bad thing. It's just the way I've always done things. I think it's great when people have this promise of, again, whatever it is. Learn. I remember Rob, the guy who teaches Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
Learn to have a 5-minute conversation your first 30 days, right? I don't have anything like that.
Right.
So it might not get people in immediately. Oh, I want to do that. But once they're in, like, hey, there's no end. You just stay with us now until you're bored and leave. But I think there is something psychologically to, if you have this promise of learn to do this in 60 or 90 days, mentally they say, all right, on day 91, I'm good.
Yeah.
See you later.
Right. And most people, speaking from experience, they don't even make it halfway through the thing anyway. You know, I was talking to someone yesterday, I can't remember who it was, and they were like, yeah, I've got this 60-day thing. And I'm like, oh, how many people make it all the way through that? And he's like, bro, 5%. I was like, it hurts. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whereas what you have is like very, very unique. And so I always like to say, like, when people are listening to these episodes, it's like your story is just a mirror to everyone else's story. Because like there's very few people listening that are Kettlebell, Lord of the Rings fitness communities.
Yes.
But whatever their niche is, it's like you can apply like the same sort of idea.
Yep.
And it's very powerful.
It goes back to what Alex was saying yesterday about, there's a lot of conversation about creating. They kept using the word cult. It's like, how do you create your cult or your followers or whatever? And he just kept saying, and Sam was saying it too, there's no creating it. You just are, right? The cat wasn't an intentional strategic plan. It was just, I don't know, I'm Sam and want this cat in here, so I'm going to put it in. I don't know. I just thought naming a kettlebell workout Aragorn was cool. And those people just kind of find you.
Yeah. And if you think about like movements in general, it's like you think about church. Yep. Like church never ends. You go to church again next week. You think about sport, like let's just pick soccer. It's like never ends. Like there's always the next match, there's always the next tournament, there's always the next championship, there's always the next, always the next, always the next.
Yeah.
And if you are selling monthly, paid, recurring memberships, it's a good idea to think about that.
Yeah.
If you're selling a one-time high-ticket thing, it's like great. You're going to have a very clear start and end point. You said you used to do high-ticket?
Yeah.
Do you do any of that right now?
None.
So tell me why you don't do that anymore.
I don't like... So I've been training people my entire life. And I still do train people in person.
Oh, cool.
So I always felt like that was my high ticket. There was something about, I like being in person and being with people in classes and one-on-one clients. When it came to online stuff, I liked the idea of one-to-many, of here's your thing, like get after it and go do it. I don't love the idea of higher ticket coaching too much. I'm starting to dabble with it a little bit more, but at the time it just wasn't for me. I didn't like the cold DMing people, want to get on a sales call, do the sales call, 45-minute call. Have to talk to my wife about it. Oh, that's way more expensive than I thought. That whole process was just draining the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And even when I got the person, same thing that you were saying before is people sign up for a 90-day program, they fall off sometimes.
Sure.
And it just wasn't sticking with me.
Yeah.
So it just eventually faded away. And also at the time, I was still training people a ton in person. So doing both of those didn't work.
Yeah.
So I just slowly started to build low ticket because I didn't need the money immediately, which is very fortunate of me. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, this is making a lot more than my in-person work. Let's put more energy here. Yeah.
And again, I always like to make it super, super explicit. It's like there is no one way to do school.
No,
like
not at all.
Literally you can't do it wrong because there's like a million ways to do it. Like what is it? 1 million ways to make $1 million. Is that the Hermosa
something
thing?
like that. It's probably true.
It's like literally true. It's like, so I think if you're a beginner on Skool, it's very easy to listen to an episode. It's like, oh, this guy only does like this. It's like, that's the way. And then you listen to the next episode. Oh, no. This guy does it completely differently. It's like, then you just like, but it depends like what you actually want. And also what stage you're at, because you have a huge audience on social media. So it's like, you can throw traffic at a page and it works. If you don't have a lot of traffic, it's like, yeah, maybe you need to think about doing something that's a little bit more personalized, all that sort of stuff. Talk to me about the interaction between your IRL business and your online business. Like,
in what way?
Well, like you have a gym or what's the setup?
No, I just rent space at a gym and train clients out of that.
Cool. And like, do you use that IRL in any way to feed into the online? So like, do you record content there? Like, do you use like videos? Like, is there any way that these things talk to each other or no?
A little bit. So I have some one-on-one training and some small groups. So it's like me and 2 or 3 people, but I also teach some group classes. So that's me and 10, 15, 20, 25 people. That is what I'll get really good content for. There's something sticky about, oh, he's not just a dude in his garage swinging kettlebells. It's, oh, he's teaching 20 other people how to do this.
Yeah.
20 normal people.
Yeah.
Right. And it tends to be a little bit stickier. That content seems to do pretty well. So if I just prop my tripod up while I'm explaining part of the workout and throw that on social media, it tends to do pretty good. So there's a little cross-pollination, and some people will take my class, like to start using kettlebells and then transfer over to the Skool community. But for the most part, it's pretty good content because I think it bridges the gap between that just another fitness influencer working out alone telling me what to do or showing me what he does. And, oh, no, he's actually showing a bunch of normal people how to do this too. Maybe I can do it also.
Yeah, it's like visual proof.
That's exactly what it is.
And it makes it real. And if there's one thing that like all of us should think about moving into the next decade, it's like, how do we make things feel as real as possible? Because the world is increasingly becoming not real, you know?
And that's something else that I've done. I took that skill. I've taught so much group fitness, and I think I've done a good job. And I say this because my people have told me this.
Oh, yeah.
Now all of my workouts on Skool are follow-along workouts. So they just click play, and I'm doing the workout, and I'm getting after it, and I'm teaching them and coaching them and motivating them. Go up in weight, go up in reps.
Right.
If you can't do this exercise, do this. I'm doing all of that with them.
Yeah.
And it's just completely changed the game for them of working out at home alone. They're getting more coaching. Everybody's trying a little bit harder. It's been a really good pivot to making things a little bit more real as opposed to, here's my workout for the day. All right, I'll just go do it. Totally. Which some people love, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But when it comes to stickiness and community, because like you were saying, there's catchphrases. There's things I'm saying repeatedly I didn't know.
Right.
And people are like, I hate when Pat says this every time. I didn't even know he was saying that.
So one of the first workout programs I ever did was Tony Horton's P90X.
So exactly. Yeah. P90X,
I know all the jokes. Like,
yeah.
Beef stew. You know, it's like every time I stretch my shoulder, I'm like beef stew.
Yep.
And so
That's what it
you
is.
can build all these little kind of like funny memes into it. And it's like, yeah, and there's also
100%.
things I'm like, Tony, I get hate whenever you say that, bro. And it's like, I can't hear you. Like, I'm a pre-recorded piece of content.
That's what all of the conversations are for each one of the workouts. It's just, that was hard. That was terrible in the best way possible. The same way workouts are, or just, giving me shit.
It's awesome.
But I'm in there doing it with them too. Like, I'm genuinely doing the workout.
Right.
And getting after it. So it's a little bit more of a cohesive thing.
Anything else that you have experimented with to, lower your churn, keep people in there longer, get them better results?
I'm still kind of figuring that out since I've only been on Skool for a couple months.
Yep.
I have been, anybody who doesn't follow through with their free trial or does end up canceling, I'll do my best to reach out to them and just ask why. Always say, no hard feelings. I'm just curious as to any sort of feedback, people that didn't like it, and so on and so forth. I don't always get responses, but it's something I've been trying to do just to get a better idea of why isn't this working. And then something also I've been doing is when people join, you know how you can put the questions in there? I'll ask what's their skill level with it, specifically with a kettlebell, beginner, intermediate, advanced, whatever. I'll try and go through some of my members and see who's beginner, because they tend to maybe get overwhelmed and kind of reach out and be like, hey, so you're a beginner, just wanted to check in. Have you been able to find everything? How's everything feeling? And so on and so forth.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And what else is kind of like top of mind for you right now, if like, especially after the event yesterday? Like, what do you think you want to focus on next? Because again, I love like to chat to people who are crushing it on Skool. To show it's like everyone's still just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? You're always just figuring out the next thing, because it's so easy as a beginner. It's like, oh my gosh, Pat's making all this money on Skool. He knows everything. And you're like, I love my favorite thing was like, so what are you doing in your about pitch? Like, honestly, bro, like, I don't really know. And it's perfect because like no one's got it all figured out, right? So what's kind of like current like challenges you're facing, or current things that you're trying to think through, and like,
something that's very small and very tangible that I think a lot of people could benefit from. And the conversation came up with one of my members right before, and then we went into yesterday. So obviously selling annual memberships is great. People commit, they're in, so on and so forth. And one of the things that I think a lot of people are doing that's really cool is using another tier option, but just as their annual. So you go to sign up and it says $40 a month or $359 for the year. I give a big year discount. Money's great, but like, come on in and let's work out for a year.
Right.
So I give a big discount on that and want people to take advantage of it. And obviously you get somebody in for a year, somebody more committed, so on and so forth. So somebody reached out to me and said, hey, can I sign up for the year? How do I do that? This is great, but I don't know what to do. And that made me realize that I want to start that second tier so when you go to sign up, it is right in front of your face, right. 40 or 359, and then throw a little, you get one call with me or something like that to go in. I was talking to the pickleball guy about that, and he gave me that idea. So that's something very small and tangible that I would love to kind of incorporate, and I think a lot of people could benefit from, because people are willing to sign up for a year, but sometimes they just don't know. They need to be reminded. We all need to be reminded more than we're told.
And it needs to be made explicit.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about doing like this Skool podcast is like hearing sentences that have never been uttered anywhere else before. And I love the fact that you're like, I was like talking to the pickleball guy about that. And everyone listening to this is like, I know who that is.
The guy who just has taken over everybody's discovery page.
It's like, you're talking about Kyle, bro. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, but that's a little takeaway from yesterday I really want to try. It's just little tactics that I think can go a long way and change things for people. And I mean, bigger tactics are, I think I need to start running ads and so on, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is like when you have a community, it is an asset.
Yep.
And you're just making it better and making it better and making it better. Like it's your product.
It is.
And like so many, like, whenever you did one-on-one IRL or digital before, it's like you do the call, they pay the money, and it's finished.
Yep.
And that's it. It's gone. It's like you make a tweak in your community, and then like you come back the next day, the tweak's still there.
Yep.
And then like you do that for 6 months, you're like, I've just made 6 months of tweaks, and the tweaks haven't gone anywhere.
Yep.
It's like everything's getting better. This is awesome. And it's like beautiful.
And the people help you do that. I think that's having such access to your community. I mean, I'm in my community nonstop. I am going for 365 dark green squares. Hardcore. That fire emoji's never going away. But I'm also just in there because I like to be a part of it. And in that, you end up learning a lot. And that's something that I heard a lot of people say. I heard Sam say it a lot. I heard probably you and Kirby and a lot of other people say, just start your community. And the people, like, you don't need to have it all figured out. I thought I did when I first started. Like, this is awesome. And then people started coming in and I'm like, okay, that's way too much stuff. I got to take that away. I think they want this. And they're saying, no, we don't want that. You will learn a lot from your community. So if you just have something in there and get them in, they'll tell you what they want. And it's a lot of times it's not what you think.